Good morning. Day 24 of our Well-Being, Wisdom, and Wealth Pajama Gal. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. In case you haven't met yet, go ahead and put hashtag pajama in the comments below so you know it's the first time you're being exposed to Pajama Gal and my cute little rubber ducky robe. Today, like the past 23 days, we have been pulling from 3 different card decks an amazing positive message card. That's what I call them. One from the Well-Being deck, one from the Wisdom deck, and one from Money and the Law of Attraction. I'm doing this just between now and the end of the year to kind of keep myself focused on the positive. Sometimes we get so caught up in the chaos and the activity of the holiday season that we forget life is about what we want, about being happy, about creating the life that we want. It's about much, much more than all of the hullabaloo and the trappings and trimmings of this time of year. So in order to remind myself of that, I like to pull one of these cards and carry them with me throughout the day. I stick them in my little goals notebook, and if I leave the house, they go with me in my purse. If I'm home, I might put one in my pocket just to remind me if one particularly speaks to me and it's like, okay, boy, I sure needed to hear that today, then I'll carry it with me. I always bring it with me, but I might actually stick it in my pocket. And that way, as I'm going throughout my day, all I have to do is put my hand on my pocket and it reminds me of the message that I read earlier in the day. So let's go ahead and see what we pulled today. Today from the Well-Being deck by Esther and Jerry Hicks, it says, and it's got snowflakes on it, which is kind of perfect for this time of year. Although in Wisconsin, we might not have a white Christmas. It's supposed to snow Christmas Day, but we're supposed to get rain tomorrow. So who knows, it's kind of knocking out the snow that we do have. But never fear, we always get plenty of snow during the winter season. So this one says, it is contrast that puts the eternalness in eternity. It is contrast that puts the eternalness in eternity. And before I even read the back, let's think about that for a second. How would we know what happy feels like if we've never felt sad? How would we know what hot feels like if we've never felt cold? How would we know what anything feels like if we hadn't experienced the opposite of that? I think of pain and pleasure. I know a lot of people that have pain, chronic pain. And if you've never experienced chronic pain that lasts more than 3 months, you have no clue what they're talking about. You can't relate. You just don't get it. It's like if you've had a baby or not. If you've never actually physically given birth to a child, there is no way you can imagine or actually feel or know what it feels like. You just can't. And that's true with all of our experiences. And that's why it's so important to put yourself in other people's shoes and give people the benefit of the doubt, knowing that you don't know exactly what experiences they've had or what they've had to endure in their life. So now let's see what the card has to say about contrast being the eternalness in eternalness in eternity. This is a confusing one today. Handy dandy magnifying glass says, your own valuable personal new desires is always born from contrast. That new desire is then heard and answered by source energy, thus the glorious expansion of the universe. So this is saying, hey, we always want more than what we have right now. We're always, as human beings, wanting more, different, better, faster, more efficient. That's my saying. Things and experiences in our life. We always want more. And that more and knowing what we want is often because we've experienced something we don't want. And that's called contrast. And this contrast is what tells us what we want. And us wanting something expands and grows the universe. I agree with that. Do you? Let me know in the comments below. Next, from the Wisdom deck by Louise Hay, it says, I rise above all limitations. I rise above all limitations. Do you say that? Can you say that right now? No matter what happens in your life, you're going to make sure that it works out for you. That's what I say. I say the universe is rigged in my favor. No matter what stuff happens, but I get to choose how to react to it. And this one says on the back, whenever I encounter a challenge in my life, I use the experience to learn and grow. Whenever I encounter a challenge in my life, I use the experience to learn and grow. Do you do that? I know I do. I totally learn from my mistakes. Now, doesn't mean I'm not always coming up with new ways to mess stuff up and making new mistakes, but I do learn and I don't make that same mistake again usually. And finally, from Money and the Law of Attraction, our wealth message for today says, my what is need not influence my what is becoming. What is has no bearing on what is coming unless you are continually regurgitating the story of what is. By thinking and speaking more of how you really want your life to be, you allow what you are currently living to be the jumping off place for so much more. But if you speak predominantly of what is, then you still jump off, but you jump off into more of the same. So, know that your current situation is just your current situation. It has little or no bearing on what your potential is and what you can create in this life and what you can have and do and be and impact. It's virtually infinite. You can do whatever you can imagine. If you dream of it, if you think of it, if you can come up with an idea about the way you want your life to be, you can absolutely positively create that life. It doesn't matter where you are right now. It doesn't matter if you're living on the streets. It doesn't matter if you've got a health issue. It doesn't matter if you don't have a job. It doesn't matter. All that matters is what you want and continually moving toward that. So those are 3 really awesome messages and awesome cards today. I might carry I rise above all limitations today in my pocket, because I think all of us, here's the tricky thing about limitations. We don't know we have them. It's the same with limiting beliefs. We don't know we have limiting beliefs. They're just our beliefs, so we don't think that they're limiting us. So I might carry that one with me to remind me that we are all infinite, limitless beings. That's it. Go out, make it a fantastic day. Of course, I will be with you tomorrow with 3 more amazing cards to help you throughout your day and this busy time of year. That's it. Pajama Grandma out.